I am making 3 ingredient, 3 Musketeers candies, or some people call this Cool Whip candy also. So we're gonna take 2 packages, 11 ounces each. Oops, I got just a little bit extra there. That one was 12. Hold on, I'm gonna put just a few back. Okay, there. And we're going to microwave this until it is melted. Now what you're gonna do is, the first time I do about 45 seconds to a minute, but you have to stir every 30 seconds to release the heat that's down at the bottom so your chocolate chips on the bottom don't burn, okay? All right, we're gonna stir. Okay, now you just do this for about 2.5 minutes until you get all your chocolate chips melted. Now we're gonna let this cool, so it's 17 degrees right now. This is the best invention ever. I use this thing almost every day. It is, I'll link it in the description below, but I love that laser thermometer. Okay, now we're gonna bring this to room temperature or close to it, so about 80 degrees, let it cool down to about 80 degrees. And I just stir it every 5 minutes or so while it's cooling off. Just ignore my children in the background. We love them, don't we, Dad?
Yes.
We have birthdays coming up.
Ooh, yes.
This time, a really long time ago, I was pregnant, waiting for my first one to come. And then his face showed up and he was so cute.
Yes, he was.
Okay. His face is still cute, Dad. We won't get him on camera, but he's sitting right over there. Okay. Now I need to let this cool. Okay, my chocolate has cooled to room temperature. If you don't have a digital thermometer, this is about the thickness you want it, okay? Now we're gonna line our baking sheet with parchment paper. Okay. If you don't have parchment paper, just very thoroughly grease your pan. All right, now we're gonna take a jar of Cool Whip a container of Cool Whip. Don't forget to save all your Cool Whip containers for Christmas and Thanksgiving leftovers. Then I'm going to pour in our chocolate. Okay, now, once it gets this hard, it's kind of hard to get, or once it gets this cool, it's kind of hard to get the rest out, but you can just scrape it as best as you can. All right, now.
I'll get the rest out later.
You'll get the rest out later. You're pre doing the dishes cleanup?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, then you're just gonna gently fold. Now it'll start getting stiff on you, don't worry, just keep stirring. Now you don't want to just diddle around doing this, but you don't need to, freak out either that it's gonna be too much, because it'll be okay, but I mean, just don't, it'll start hardening up and you don't want to just, wait too long. Okay. Okay, and then I'm using my spatula to get the rest down at the bottom. And if you have fibromyalgia like me, at this point you're questioning your life choices of doing what? We're probably doing 10 cooking videos today and tomorrow because we have to get them done. We're having a Halloween party. Well, let me rephrase that. We're having a party on Halloween for the kids who don't celebrate Halloween, or the kids who do, it doesn't really matter. But so they are going to be enjoying all of these goodies tomorrow. Okay, now got all of that mixed in, and I'm gonna switch back to my spoon because it's easier. Watching our entire video, we're going to give you our Dining on a Dime cookbook ebook volume number 1 free at livingonadime.com. Click on our shop, click on our ebooks, click on Dining on a Dime volume 1, add it to your cart. When you go to checkout, use the coupon code DINING1 and you will get our ebook absolutely free with no obligation and no strings attached. Visit us at livingonadime.com. I'm going to put it in here. Now spread it all over your pan so you don't have to move your candy as far. It'll be easier to spread it. Okay, we got there. My scraper.
Smells delish.
It does, doesn't it? Alright, guys, don't be so stingy that you don't leave your kids some treats. Actually, that's one thing about scraping out the bowl. Yes, scrape it out, but you know, kids like to come home from school and see that mom was baking, and they like to lick out the bowls. Let your kids lick out the bowls, right, dear?
Yep. And your husband.
Especially if he does the dishes for you. Okay. Great. Okay, now this is going to be stiff, so just push it around as best as you can. I'm gonna try another idea to get this smoother. Now, you don't have to have a glove. I just do that because I don't want to dig the stuff out of my fingernails. But there, yeah, that works a little bit easier. So just either spray your hands, or if you want a glove, you can. Then get all pressed in there, really nice and smooth, evenly. Get all the fingerprints out. There, now that's much better. This is a little thick right here. Move that over. Get the edges all nice. There, all right. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna put this in the freezer and let it freeze for 30 minutes. Okay, here it is. Our center. Okay, so I'm gonna reuse my parchment paper here. Put it on my tray. So we're going to cut this into pieces. Oops, I left it a little longer than I should have in the freezer. So now it's like really super frozen.
Do you need your man to cut it for you?
I do. I need a strong man in my life. Who will cut the fudge? Okay, that sounds weird. Are you up to the task, dear? I think you are. I feel you are up to the task. Oops. Okay, don't leave it more than the 30 minutes recommended or 20 minutes recommended, I guess, because then it gets too hard.
Get the skill saw.
Skill saw, huh? Well, I guess that would work.
You flinging fudge everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Now, oops. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is dip these. Just dip all of these in the chocolate. And it's supposed to taste like a Three Musketeer. I don't know, do you think it'll taste like a Three Musketeer, dear?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. If it does, I will be happy.
Yes, you love Three Musketeers, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can pause for while I dip all these.
We need to learn how to make Idaho spuds.
Well, it would be the same recipe just with coconut mixed in, wouldn't it?
It's marshmallow and coconut, I think.
Uh-oh. I see a challenge. I cannot unaccept a challenge. The challenge has been put out there, so I must accept it, right?
Yep.
We are going to dominate the no-bake Christmas candies market this year. Right, dear?
Yep.
I'm telling ya, I am the Christmas candy queen. We are the Christmas candy channel.
Thank you for not saying I'm a queen.
Thank you for not being a queen. I appreciate that, dear. Thank you very much. Don't need any surprise announcements in the middle of the night. Okay, so just so you guys know, we will have, I think I'm now up to 10 Christmas candy videos that are coming out this Christmas. So be sure to watch them all. I don't know how we're going to do different thumbnails for all of them. That's going to be interesting to do. Okay, now I'm going to leave all these little broken bits for the boys to pick on, and we're going to go put this in the freezer. Yum.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be good.
Yum. You got chocolate on your face.
Oh, do I?
I might have to come lick it off.
You wanna smooch it off of me, dear?
Ooh.
Okay, there is our Cool Whip candy, Three Musketeers candy, whatever you want to call it.
It smells delicious.
Guess I need to get a name. Okay, take a bite.
Well, yeah.
Is it good?
It's really good. I'm trying to think in my mind, how much does it taste like a Three Musketeers? Oh man, it's really good. It's really, really good. Wow. Actually, the inside's like a Three Musketeers, but the outside is more better tasting chocolate.
There you go.
It's really, really good.
Okay. He says that one's probably number one.
Yeah, the one that, the Cool Whip candy is the one you call the Three Musketeers. Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
amazing.
your favorite,
It's
huh?
my most favorite, yeah.
Well, there you go. Hello, today I'm making my 2-ingredient fudge. This recipe is in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2. You can see we have our 2-ingredient fudge with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ways to make 2-ingredient fudge. Super easy recipe, guys, really. 1 bag, now it must be 12 ounces. You can use any kind of chips you want. You can use peanut butter chips, white chips, mint chips, peppermint chips, any chips you want, but they have to be, even cherry chips, 12 ounces, okay? So make sure you have your 12 ounces. And then we're gonna put that in our bowl. So to make the fudge, take our sweetened condensed milk. Get this all out. Then we're going to put this in the microwave. Although I've never microwaved in this bowl before, so I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not.
We don't want any unexpected things
I
on the
know.
recipes.
Okay, there we go. All right, so every 30 seconds to a minute or so, just go in and stir it. I love my gnomes. Now, the reason why you stir between each thing, between each microwaving, is so that it doesn't burn on the bottom, because microwaves do not evenly cook. So that's why you have to stir things to get the heat distributed. Perfect. Okay. All right, that looks very smooth and creamy and fudgy. Does that look fudgy?
Man, it smells amazing.
Then I'm going to grease my pan. This is an 8x8 pan. Then just spread it out. Then you're going to refrigerate it after you get it spread in the pan, just like so. If you have room to refrigerate it. Okay. Now, if you're like me and live in Wyoming, you can put it outside also. There we go. All right.
Treats for the deer
Yes.
and the bears.
Yes. Okay, so let's cut a piece here. All right, we are making haystacks. This is Mike's favorite Christmas candy. Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, right here, page 334. Now, you can use chocolate chips for this. I like using the candy wafers because they set up a little bit harder. If you have chocolate chips and you don't want them to be, you want them to be a little bit harder and not soft, you can add a tablespoon of either coconut oil or a tablespoon of paraffin wax for canning. I know it seems crazy, but yes, it is food safe. That's what they use to like make your apples all shiny and that kind of thing. Okay, you'll just poop it out, don't worry. All right, here's the wafers. Boop, just like that. Now we're gonna throw them in the microwave. Okay, first initial melting. Okay. Okay. almost there. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, get this all smooth. Oh, does that look delicious, dear?
That looks delicious. And the candy too.
Oh, thanks. After 30 years of marriage, we still flirt with each other. Okay, back to cooking. Get focused here, dear. Get focused. Okay, then you pour in your coconut, just like so. You can use sweetened or unsweetened. I prefer sweetened just because, you know, you can't have too many diabetic comas at Christmas time. Okay, that's not really funny, but it is. All right, then I'm going to take my cake pan. Now, you don't have to use parchment paper. You can just spray it with cooking spray or use a Silpat if you want, but I've got my Silpat making my peanut brittle, so I'm just going to use parchment and just spoon haystacks on the pan.
You can buy ones about twice this size at the vacation stores for like $12 each.
Or you can make your own for $1. Oh no, I mean, my goodness, that's probably, well, that might be $1. Well, no, this whole recipe is 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these on clearance for 50 cents. So this whole recipe is like $2.50, $3. So there's your big, gigantic monster one, dear. How does that make you feel?
Good. Tara usually makes the smaller ones so we don't eat too much.
Yes, that's why. Okay, so now we're just gonna let these cool and harden, and then we'll eat them. If you guys are loving this video, would you please give me a big thumbs up saying you like it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit all notifications so you can get more recipes like these. This next one is in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2, Peppermint Bark. Now, I'm not gonna make it like this picture. I'm gonna make mine a little different. But if you want it like this, all you need to do is just do a layer of chocolate and then a layer of white and then the candy canes. I'm doing an M&M one for my kids. You can use almond bark, but you can see I got this on clearance after Christmas last year. Good deal. I have found these as low as 20 cents a bag. 10 days. So like January, it would be January like 5th or something. 90% off, okay? All right, we're going to melt that in the microwave. There, isn't that cute? Oh. So the reason why you stir it, once again, is because you don't want it to burn, and microwaves don't heat evenly. So that redistributes the heat. Here, want to say hi to Rudolph? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. All right, there we go. Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. All right, that looks very nice and smooth. Okay, like I said, I'm not making the peppermint. My boys like M&Ms, so I'm going to do an M&M one for them. But what I'm going to do is put about 2/3 or so in on the pan. Just like so, just spread it out fairly thin. This one I'm not adding any flavoring. If you want to add flavoring, just do it before you spread it on the pan. Okay.
You don't have to grease the pan.
Nope, you don't have to grease the pan for this because there's enough oil in the bark to not stick. Okay, so then we're going to put the food coloring in. And get this all mixed up.
Smells yummy.
Ooh, that stiffened up the... I probably should have done the other kind of food coloring. Okay, that's not working like I had anticipated. Oops. Well, that kind of food coloring does not react very well. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our M&Ms and turn this into 2 ingredient. That's funny. I've never...
What were you doing with it?
Well, I was going to make red swirls, but I've never had it. Of course, I don't know that I've ever used it like that.
So the red swirls, you would have just swirled it on the top with the paddle?
Yes. Would have just put in there. I think you need the liquid food coloring. Okay, there we go. Here, we'll move this one. Oops, or not. Okay, so we'll move a couple over here so they'll be a little bit more in that piece. Okay, now we're going to let this set up, and we've got peppermint bark. So under variations, I made the M&M one right there. M&M bark. Okay, so we have our haystacks. They are set up. Look at that. Okay, now this is Mike's favorite. I'm going to test. Okay, that's pretty darn tootin' good too. Pretty good, huh?
This is my favorite candy. I absolutely love this stuff. It's interesting. Sometimes Tar makes it with soft coconut, but this was a dehydrated coconut. Interesting, the dehydrated coconut gives it a crunchier texture, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah. The next recipe we are making is cherry mash. Now this is an old-fashioned candy. A lot of people may not know what this is, but it's cherry and chocolate and peanuts, and it is so delicious. You can still find it now and then, but Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2, variation right here, cherry mash. So that's the one we are making for this. Now, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your peanut smasher, and see, this is like so cool. And you just put your peanuts in and go around, and then they fall down to the bottom right there. See all the peanuts going? Isn't that cool? And if a peanut gets stuck, just go back and forth until it gets unstuck. Okay, so we got all our peanuts smashed up here. Have the kids do this part. Get the very last one. Just kidding. Okay, so for this fudge, we're going to take our white chips here. Ooh, that's only 11 ounces. So what I'm going to do is leave out just a little bit of the sweetened condensed milk. So I forgot the sweetened condensed milk, so Mike ran downstairs and got me this. No, he actually got me this, but he was just being a ding-a-ling. Okay, so to make the fudge, take our sweetened condensed milk. Now look at that one's darker. But this can is fine. Huh.
I wonder if it's just a little older than the other one or something. Or different kind of sugar.
No, it's not expired or anything. Okay, so now because this is only 11 ounces of chocolate chips, I'm only going to put, I don't know, see, I'm leaving about that much in there. I'm not putting all the sweetened condensed milk in, okay? So we're going to melt this. Okay, so while this is microwaving, let me explain. They don't really make cherry chips anymore. You used to be able to get them all over, and now you can't hardly find them. So if you can find cherry chips, get cherry chips. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the white, add some red food coloring, and some cherry extract, and that's how I'm going to get my cherry flavoring.
You're using
All right, I think that's gonna be pretty good. All right. Could be slightly warmer, but I think it's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna add our red food coloring and some of our cherry extract, imitation cherry extract. I don't know, probably, I would say 1/4 teaspoon probably. Oh, isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that look all Christmassy and
It does.
Christmassy-y? Now, this is a silicone 8x8 pan, just so you guys can see how that works. I'm going to put our cherry in first. All right. Ooh, doesn't that look delicious? Yeah, I would say about 1/4 teaspoon of cherry flavoring. Okay, so now we're going to take chocolate chips, and I'm not going to do a whole bag. I'm going to do probably 1/3 of a bag. Just like so. We're going to melt these. Yes, I hate dirtying bowls when I don't need to, so it won't hurt anything to put it in the same bowl. Yes, it will melt on the next stirring. You don't have to be real particular with this, in case people are wondering. Can you tell I'm not a very particular cook?
Still turns out amazing though.
Aw, thanks. And you're not just saying that because you have to.
You're right. I could have just kept my mouth shut.
No, you couldn't have. Because you love me too much.
You should be saying that.
No, you couldn't have. Because you love me too much. Right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Looks like it's seizing up on me. Shoot. Okay. Since it looks like it's trying to seize on me just a little bit, I am going to put just a tiny bit of coconut oil in here just to soften it up. Here, let's see if we can get it running again. There we go.
Is that because of the kind of chips they were?
It's because the bowl got too hot. The bowl got hot and the chips didn't. So the bowl got too hot and made the chips too hot, which is kind of a different situation I've had. My goodness, I've got every baking mistake going on in this video, don't I? Yeah, probably a glass measuring cup. This was not the best bowl to do this in. Very interesting. Okay, so got it smoothed. Now we're going to add our peanuts. Yeah, like a glass measuring cup or something might be better to do this in. Okay. Then, probably should have let the bottom set up, but we're just going to chunk it on there. Oh, yum. Yeah, we're not going to be exact because we want some of the pink showing through. Okay, I have to admit this is one of my favorite candies too. Now, if you want thicker chocolate, you can. Do a thicker chocolate if you want, but all right. Then we're going to take a few peanuts and sprinkle a few more peanuts on top. just like so. Okay, and just push those in so they don't fall off. Oh, yum. Okay, now we're gonna refrigerate this and let this get hardened. Almond bark here. Now I just take my pan. You can see it just pops right off. Then just break it into pieces. Now there's all the variations, guys, you can make. You can make a whole almond bark platter. Ooh, that would be yummy. All right, there we go. Okay, should I do a taste test? That's delicious. I know it's such a dumb, easy candy, but oh my goodness, it's so good. Yum. 10 out of 10. Dining at a Dime Cookbook Volume 1. Turtles. These are so good too. I remember when I worked at the fudge shop. Do you remember meeting me in the fudge shop, dear?
I do.
Oh. And then we said I do.
Yes. Like 2 weeks later. No, I'm just kidding.
No, let's see. We got married, what, 6 months after we married?
Yep.
Don't recommend it. Do you recommend it? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I recommend it. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, now I will say this was one of my favorites at the fudge shop. They used macadamia nuts instead of pecans. So you could use almonds, pecans, macadamias, whatever you want. And you just turn, I'm gonna do the traditional pecan. Just turn them around, 3 in a row, just like so. Oh, I made a poem there.
Oh, you do 3? I thought you did 5.
Yeah, 3.
I was thinking 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head.
Well, is that how they do them in the, I don't know. We always did 3 at the fudge shop. Let's see. 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, like that. I guess that would be a turtle, wouldn't it? I don't know.
They were downsizing at the fudge shop.
What? Oh, with the 3? That's funny. Okay, that's disturbing me. I'm sorry. That's not a proper turtle. Okay, there we go. Normally you would put like 1 caramel in there. At the fudge shop, we melted the caramel and then we put little dollops on there. But if you don't want to dirty another pan, which I wouldn't, I just take these little caramel things. What do you call them? Caramel bits. And I just put them all on here, and then we're going to put these in the oven and melt it, and then they'll all melt together. Okay?
Isn't this a no-bake video?
Oh, I'm baking it, aren't I? Yeah, well, the no-bake part is I melt the caramels. Hold on. You're right. Okay, we've got our little bowl. Putting my caramels in. Now, if you want, you can place these on the baking sheet and bake it and let the caramels melt. So if I do that, I just put like 1 like this. You can do it that way if you want. But to make it no bake, I'm going to melt my caramel in the microwave. Okay, I'm running out of spoons, so I'm getting down to the down to the wire.
Little trolley spoon.
So Mike said I need to say we're just going to dig right in and make some turtles.
Got to mix it up with your spade. No, is it a spade or shovel?
It's a
shovel.
I don't know. Is the flat one a spade? I don't know. I am second guessing myself now. Okay, there we go. Nice and melted.
That's up.
Not really. Well, might be. Ooh, yum. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's do it a different way. Ow, that's hot. There's the caramel. There's caramel. So then what I'm going to do is plop that puppy right in the center. There.
Which way did you do it at the candy shop?
This way, actually. I just had forgotten since it's been 30 years. All right, because I'm getting tired and I didn't make enough caramels here. I'm just going to show you how to do this. Okay, so I got my chocolate chips and we're going to melt these. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, you can dip these, but I'm just going to spread it on. Oh, yeah. See, the beauty of this is that I'm the only one that'll eat these. Except I can't eat them because they have milk. Oops. All right. There's your turtles. Yum. Then we're going to let this get hard, and I'll show you the final product. Diane Cookbook Volume 1. We are making toffee. This is another Christmas candy we have made for, well, the 50 years that I've been alive. Probably longer than that. Right in here I have a half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick melting. Then I have my brown sugar. Oh, seriously? A third of a cup. Let's see. How many thirds of a cup are in 3/4? 1, 2. Okay. Let's hope this works. 1. Now, as always, these recipes are in the description below. Okay, so now we got our sugar and our butter, and we're going to bring this to a boil on medium heat. All right, my toffee is coming to a boil, so while that's happening, I've lined my baking dish with a used cookie. See, it's got grease, but it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not staying down very well, but that's fine. I cut the edges so that they'll go in there. Then we're going to, I did the parchment paper so that it'll lift out of this dish because I've never used this dish before. But if you're just using a regular metal pan, you just need to grease the bottom of the pan and then just sprinkle your nuts on the bottom of the pan. Oops. Well, that didn't work. Now, I'm using almonds. You can use peanuts or walnuts if you want. Okay. I don't know if this pan's going to be the best pan or not. That's a little too many almonds. Okay, we'll see how this works. Ah! All right, so now it is starting to come to a boil right there. Now, you have to watch this carefully. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to let it cook 7 minutes. But you have to be careful because if your heat is too high, it'll start to burn. So stand here and watch it for the 7 minutes. And if you start smelling or seeing it get really, really dark, then just take it off immediately, pour it in your pan because usually you can save it, okay? So now we've got it on medium and we're turning it down to low. And we're going to let it finish boiling on low for 7 minutes. All right, we have 1 minute left. I turn off my stove at 1 minute because I have an electric stove and just let the residual heat finish cooking it so that it doesn't burn. But we have about 30 seconds or so left, I think. And I'm watching it really carefully. You can tell if it's going to burn because it gets really dark around the edges. Now, this is dark, but I mean, it starts getting darker. And if that happens, just take it off immediately and pour it in your pan. Because usually it's not burned yet. If you start noticing it, that it seems like it's burning, just take it off right away. And you can probably save it. All right, there it is cooked. Yum. All right, so now we're going to drizzle it in our pan. Oops, there's my timer going off. Oops, oh dear, I missed. Okay, then just take your spoon. Now this is super, super hot again, so don't burn yourself. Then you're going to take your chocolate chips, and I like the mini ones because they melt quicker, but you can just use regular chocolate chips. And just sprinkle those on top. Whoops, or a lot. Then what I do is I take a baking sheet and I set it on top, and that keeps the heat in to melt the chocolate chips just for like 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to let those chocolate chips melt, and then we're going to spread them. Okay, can you see how the chocolate chips are melting? I'm going to let it stay for just 2 or 3 more minutes. Melt the rest of them. Okay, let's test the spreadability. Probably should leave it just a minute more, but I'm going to spread some of it out and get the ones that are done. There. Oh, yum. Okay, we're going to let that cool, and then we're going to crack these, and you will have delicious toffee. Okay, we have our toffee. See how beautifully that just comes out? Yeah, you can just break it up with your hands, just like so. Oops, I didn't let it sit long enough. Oh, I didn't cook it long. I should have cooked it like 30 seconds longer. So here's the thing. See how it's a little, see how mine isn't just crunching? Here in Sheridan, we are literally right on the line of high altitude. So some things work at regular altitude and some don't. So if you're at high altitude, I should have cooked this another 30 seconds longer and it would be crispy. Or not crispy, but what do you call it?
Crunchy.
Hard crack. But it's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Let's taste it. Yep, it still tastes really good. Okay, we have the cherry mash fudge. Ugh, yum. Oops, it should have sat a little bit longer. I cut it too soon. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that tastes just like cherry mash. That is so good. When you know somebody who loves cherry mash, you gotta try this. I hope you guys love these Christmas candies. Please go watch this video next, and we will see you guys next time.